And so, it's like at the beginning of talk shows, when they look like they're talking about something from a previous conversation.
Yes, that's right. Oh, good one, Rich Alvarez. Good one, Rich Alvarez. That's why I married you.
Yeah. Oh, hello. Didn't see you there. And welcome to an exciting episode of Alvarekt Mailbag. And I think from this point on, probably all of Alvarekt Mailbag will be live because I think it's a pretty good idea. It means that we'll be answering your Twitter questions live. So get on over, just like it says right there, over to Twitter, and we are at Alvarekt Mailbag, and start asking Alvarekt Mailbag all kinds of questions. And then in just a little bit after me and Jackie are done talking about a couple of things, we will go on Twitter and answer your questions. So Jackie, make sure you got Twitter up there. And
I've got Twitter up, and I also have the comments section up.
Well, look at you.
I know, I'm good. But my devil ears are falling off my head.
All right, so it's Christmas Eve, and so if you're on YouTube watching YouTube videos instead of hanging out with your family, then you're in luck because we're on YouTube, and we are going to be talking about all kinds of fun stuff today. So, as the title implied here, we are going to be talking about our favorite Christmas movies. So, Jackie, let's start with you. What do you think is your favorite Christmas movie?
I like Die Hard.
Yeah, I was going to say Die Hard too, although it's been there has been of some debate lately, especially on Screen Junkies, as to whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie or a movie that just takes place at Christmas. So, on their movie fights, they argued that.
I think that you could watch it during Christmas. I can't wear those with it's just there's such a little talk hole in it, and somebody got lipstick on it. Who did that? Was that Christine? Christine did that. Okay. Yeah, I like Die Hard. I think it's a Christmas movie. I think you could watch it during Christmas. I think you can watch it anytime. I also like Jingle All the Way. So that's like no doubt that's a Christmas movie for that one.
No doubt.
If you guys want to be little jerks and say that Die Hard's not a Christmas movie.
Yeah. So again, guys, if you're just coming in, don't forget to go to Alvarekt Mailbag and ask your questions there if you would like us to answer them on the show. I am going to answer a couple of questions that you guys are just doing in the chat because I have to answer this. Bob Clooney Production says, "What do you miss most about the stupid Mario Brothers series?" To which my reply is, "We're still doing it, so I can't miss anything about it because I'm still in production of my third season of Super Mario World, which is a continuation of Super Mario Brothers, so I don't miss anything about it because I'm still doing it."
I miss some of the people who have moved away, like
yeah, that's
Kent
true. That's true.
And Matt and Jennifer. I miss a lot of them.
Okay, going back to Christmas movies, though. So, yeah, we've established Die Hard is a pretty good one. Home Alone. Did you say Home Alone?
I said Jingle All the Way, but
Jingle
Home Alone is definitely
Jingle All the Way is good.
And it's like, I would say that Home Alone is a Christmas movie, but there are some people that, if, you're going with the Die Hard route as that is not a Christmas movie, some people might say that Home Alone is not a Christmas movie. It's just a fun movie that takes place during Christmas. But I poo on them. Those are Christmas movies. Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
And I also noticed that Luna Cat says that her favorite Christmas movie is White Christmas.
Ooh.
That's a classic, and I do enjoy White Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it many times, but I think that's another movie where I always like to joke. My parents love White Christmas. I always like to joke with them. I'm like, is this really a Christmas movie? Or is this just a movie about a couple guys trying to get their show off the ground, and it just happens to take place at Christmas? Because the only time it really feels like Christmas to me is at the very end when they do the little Christmas thing. But, it's a good movie either way. So there's that.
What else?
Yeah, I'm trying to think what other, suddenly I said top 10 Christmas movies, and we're just kind of, throwing them out there in a random order.
I'm a devil bag.
A devil bug?
Devil bag. Yeah, there's no order to this, because if there was an order to this, I'd have to, pre flesh out my list and all that. It would be too much work.
All right,
these live streams are no work at all.
Can we just think of a couple more Christmas movies at all? How about A Christmas Story? That's a good one.
Christmas Story.
Yes. It's a Wonderful Life, says Green Goomba Stomper.
Most definitely, It's a Wonderful Life. Absolutely.
Shoot. I felt like this was gonna be easy, and then like it's hard to think of them.
Yeah. That movie we just watched.
You mean Love Actually?
Love Actually.
Yeah, that's kind of a Christmas movie.
I didn't really enjoy it that much, but it was fun. It was a fun movie.
I think it's a super British movie.
Oh, I love British stuff,
and I love that's Love Act. It's funny because people in the States consider Love Actually a drama, or no, they consider Love Actually a comedy because it's kind of funny. But if you actually watch British comedy like Monty Python, everything, it's pretty zany usually, pretty it's very British. Love Actually is what they consider in Britain to be a drama.
I think that
because even the dramas are funny.
Well, yeah, yes, I do have to agree with that. But I think that they did that to know that.
Yeah, I could also be super generalizing, but that's what I think. I actually enjoy the movie a lot, except for maybe the ending. But anyways, other favorite Christmas movies.
I mean, the porn star part. I mean, you can't not think that part's a comedy.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. What else? What other Christmas movies, Jack? Do we just not watch Christmas movies during Christmas? Is that what's wrong here?
Gremlins.
Gremlins is a good
Christmas movie.
I was just about to say Elf with Will Ferrell, and honestly, that's really all my brain can do right now.
Wow, this is a short top 10.
That was like a top 5.5, maybe. I don't know. All right, guys, let's move on to our the next thing I want to talk about today is a little bit about the music video that I uploaded yesterday. If some of you saw it, then thank you for watching it. If some of you guys didn't watch it, then go ahead and watch it. It's the one that's hopefully in the related section somewhere over there, and if not, just click Rich Alvarez somewhere down there, and then click on videos, and it'll show you them tube, my newest video, other than this one.
I don't like that cheesecake flavor.
I told you. Anyways, yeah, so so just go in there and watch them tube. It's I spent some time making that song, and it's obviously a message song. I was trying to kind of do it in the style of like Elton John, Billy Joel, John Lennon, kind of like 70s war protest song, but it's all about YouTube. It's a really good song if you're a content creator and you felt the effects of, why am I getting less views? Why am I not making as much money? Blah, blah, blah. Everybody in the community and like even some of my personal friends that also have YouTube channels like Sean Long, we've all been talking about how we felt kind of like betrayed by the system and everything. So this is just kind of like my way to vent about it, was doing this song. A couple of people are like, well, why'd you have to do it in song form? I guess I didn't, but I've already made videos, a couple of them in the past, that I just talk about it. And I felt like it was time to just like kind of make a song that I hope was like more universal and everything. Yeah. It was really good. And also, yeah, for the music video itself, I really thought it was a good idea to put in a lot of old YouTube videos from YouTubers we don't really see anymore. And then I sprinkled some newer YouTubers in there, too, that I think work really hard and do a good job, like H3H3 and Philip DeFranco. Andre Meadows is in there a couple times. Sean Long is in there a little bit. And, of course, I have, a little bit of the Pewds in there, too, because he's PewDiePie. You have to.
The Pewds.
The Pewds. And,
These don't fit on my head very well.
All right, Jackie, why don't you open up the Twitter so that we can answer people's live. We asked you at the beginning to submit your questions on Twitter at Alvarekt Mailbag right there. And now we are going to be answering your live Twitter questions. It is December 24th. So we will be answering... well, actually, I guess, we're going to answer a couple of things that have been on the Mailbag Twitter for a couple of days here.
We've got a few... like this one right here.
Yeah, Caleb Smith asks, besides Spider-Man Homecoming, what comic book movie are you excited to see in 2017? Well, Caleb, I think that the movie, there's two other ones. Obviously, Spider-Man Homecoming. Well, you know what? Even aside, I don't know if Spider-Man Homecoming is the comic book movie I'm looking forward to the most. I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I think it looks awesome. But we also have Guardians 2 and Thor Ragnarok. And here's the thing about those: I think that Spider-Man Homecoming will be more fun than Thor Ragnarok. But Thor Ragnarok will be a more important movie, and then Guardians of the Galaxy is just amazing. So that is going to be a really excited, a really exciting movie. I cannot wait. Honestly, one of the things I'm looking forward to the most in Guardians of the Galaxy is the soundtrack. The first movie had this amazing soundtrack of songs that we've of course already heard, older songs, but it was it's like now it's hard for me to think of those songs when I hear them without thinking Guardians of the Galaxy, honestly. And so I can't wait to hear some old songs again in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 that I'm now going to associate with Guardians of the Galaxy. That's going to be a lot of fun there. Spider-Man, obviously, it's Spider-Man, and it's going to be Tom Holland Spider-Man from Civil War, so that's going to be just amazing. And, of course, Thor Ragnarok, Thor and Hulk, they've described it as like a road trip movie in space with Thor and Hulk, plus some Planet Hulk in there, so I'm super excited for that. Plus, it's going to lead into the next, Avengers Infinity War, of course. Jackie, what are you excited about? Notice I didn't mention any DC.
Oh man, I am definitely excited for Spider-Man Homecoming, like the hypest I can get. They were announcing some comic book movies. It was comic book movies, not superhero, right?
Comic book movies.
Comic book movies. All right, cool. So they did announce some comic book movies of stuff that I have read in the past, like Chew and Happy. And those are some really good comics that a lot of people don't know about that are really good. And you should read it, or you should wait for the movies if they ever do come out. Because, some movies get announced and then they get canceled and all that. But they're going to be great movies, I hope.
Okay. Next question. Let's see.
I saw a really good question on the comments.
Oh, in the chat here.
Lunacat said, "What Christmas traditions do you have? We bake cookies, drink hot cocoa, and play board games all night." That sounds like a fun tradition. I love board games. What we do is we, all the regular Christmas traditions and all that. We go to Richie's family, we go to my family, blah, blah, blah. But between Richie and I, we have a tradition where Christmas Eve, which is tonight, we open up one gift, and it's usually the pajamas. So we get new pajamas for Christmas Eve. We wear them that night, and then, in the morning, we're already in our pajamas to open up presents. So that's what we do.
That's what we do. Mm-hmm. So I was looking at the questions, figuring out what's the next one I'm going to read.
This is a good question.
Oh, okay. Frank Nelson asks, for Rich and Jax, what's your favorite video game song? And it doesn't have to be from your favorite video game. That's very interesting. My favorite video game song, this is an easy one.
Is it Triple Triad?
It is not. It is Terra's theme from Final Fantasy VI, which is kind of like the main theme of that game. Even outside of Final Fantasy, that song is freaking amazing, and it just kind of calls back to my generation. That is all. What about you?
My favorite song is too much coffee. My favorite song. My favorite song is from the Portal series. It's the songs that GLaDOS sings at the end of each song, the Still Alive and the Want You Gone. Those two songs are so good. So good. I love them. I love GLaDOS.
Yeah.
But I also love, there's so many songs in
Wait,
games.
what was the one you just said by GLaDOS?
Want You Gone?
Want You Gone from what game?
I think that's Portal 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then Portal 1 has
GLaDOS the
Machine,
alive. I was going to quote GLaDOS, and I can't think of a single quote for some reason. She says a lot of funny things to the player in that game, though.
She does.
Oh, what was it? It was like, I thought of a joke. It's about you, and it's not in your favor, or something like that. Yeah. She says some stuff. It's really good.
Yeah, she's great.
Anyways, I was also going to say special mention to Stand By Me from Final Fantasy 15.
Yes, I was getting to that.
Which is a remake, of course, of an older
The
song.
Benny King.
Yeah.
Stand By Me.
But it's the remake sung by Florence and the Machine, plus the Machine, in Final Fantasy 15, which really kind of like makes the beginning of that game special, and also maybe makes the end of that game special.
Ooh.
We'll see. Well, I've seen it. I'm saying you'll see if you play.
Yeah, you should. I recommend Final Fantasy 15. And then there's, of course, literally every single Mario theme. Like, they're all good. And they all get stuck in your head. There's also, basically I play a game and I'm stuck on a part, and that song, the soundtrack is still going on. That song will become my favorite song because it's just stuck in my head and I'm listening to it over and over again. Yeah.
Tony TJ7.
Yes.
And by the way, guys, special mention if you want to, I know that I didn't really make a holiday special this year other than just this kind of mailbag has Christmas in the title. If you want a really good Christmas special, Tony T did a Batman Christmas special. It's called Bat, B with the @ symbol, Bat Christmas special. Look it up and look for the Tony T with the 7 symbol there. He made this great thing, and you might recognize the voice of the narrator. Hint, it's me. I'm the narrator of that video. Anyways.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah,
Hello,
that's Tony. So anyways, now I'll read his question. He says, did you watch the Schmodown Spectacular? Notice the schmoes in your music video. Yes, I had to put the schmoes in my video. They're some of my favorite YouTubers, and of course we watched the Schmodown. We watched the entire thing last night. I didn't realize it was going to be like 3 hours, but because they went through like 5 different rounds. But it was really good. I was happy. I mean, I always root for Dan Merle, whether it's on movie fights, on Screen Junkies, or whatever he's doing on anybody else's channel. A lot of people think that he's dick, and maybe he is a little bit, but I always root for him because I think that he honestly knows the most about movies out of anybody from those channels. But I couldn't help find myself rooting for Mark Ellis just because he came out in his Santa costume.
Mark Ellis is so precious.
And he's
I
so
love
hilarious.
Him.
He came to Sacramento. We had a chance to meet him. Unfortunately, we didn't because we were busy that night that he was doing stand-up. But the next time he's doing stand-up in Sacramento, we will try to make it work because that guy is definitely one of the goofiest guys online, and I'm sure I've heard his stand-up is amazing, and fans give him things when they see him at stand-up. Like he received the Catalyst book. He's like, I wasn't gonna read Catalyst, but now I'm gonna because somebody gave it to me.
Oh, how cute! And also, tell him about Wizarding World.
Wizarding World?
And John Rocco.
Oh, shoot. Oh, man, I wish I had that picture on here to bring it up.
Let me try and find it. It's probably on Facebook.
No, because I'd have to download it, put it through the thing, and I can't do that while we're also talking to people. It's
well,
all right. Next time.
You say it.
So fun fact, John Roca, who is the host of Top 10, which is another YouTube channel, and he sometimes guests on Collider, on their movie talk.
He was on the
Schmodown Spectacular quite a lot because he's one of the top seeds in almost all of the categories.
He's a feisty little guy.
So he gets he was in almost all of the top rounds because of that. So John Roca is the one with the cowboy hat. He comes out with the Guy Fawkes mask. That's the V for Vendetta mask for people who don't know what Guy Fawkes is. Anyways, so what was I gonna say?
We were on our anniversary.
Yeah, we were on our anniversary trip in November, and we went to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and I got a picture of Jackie with the train conductor of the Hogwarts Express. A month later, I find out that John Roca works at Universal Studios. We look at the picture, and I just didn't think that anyone I know from online would be working at Universal Studios. So I have a picture of Jackie with John Roca dressed as a train conductor in front of the Hogwarts Express.
Yeah.
And I'm just kicking myself.
We were both standing near him, waiting to get a picture, and we were like, that guy looks just like John Roca.
Yeah, I did. I remember thinking, I was like, that guy looks a lot like John Roca. But I didn't think it would actually be him because I just don't expect him to be... I don't know why. I just don't expect him to be working at Universal Studios. But now I'm really kicking myself because I'm like, darn, if I, had just asked if he was John Roca, then he would have said yeah, and then he could have made all my dreams go... No, I don't know.
I saw a
It was awesome, though.
I saw a picture. I saw a comment from Jack Hamilton. He said, "Are you excited for Logan?" And that is one of the... I
hope Deadpool shows up.
I'm excited for Logan.
No, Logan looks amazing.
In the last question that we had about what was it? Where is it? Oh, from Caleb Smith about the comic book movies we're excited for. I didn't mention Logan because I totally forgot about Logan. But yes, I am so excited for Logan.
Okay, so this is I'm just throwing this out there because because I think I wanted to mention this earlier in the program and I totally forgot. So anybody who's watching this 20 minutes in, congratulations, you're 20 minutes in. But the thing I wanted to talk about was Stupid Mario World Season 3. And I know that, I got a lot of comments on that. I mean, I get a lot of comments on every... It doesn't matter what video we upload, we get comments about Stupid Mario World. I'm sure you've noticed. But I think that for Stupid Mario World Season 3, the thing has been, like, people were like, well... What are you gonna do about that season? Because I had the Patreon goal at 1,500, and then I lowered it to 1,000 after I wasn't reaching that goal, thinking, okay, if I lower the goal, then maybe people will donate because now it's more realistic. I thought, people. I thought more people would want to donate because the goal seemed more achievable. Unfortunately, the opposite happened.
Yeah, less people.
Less people donated, and even people that were donating more started to donate less because maybe they thought, well, the goal's lower now. Hopefully, other people will donate. I have no idea. I don't know what the thought process was there, but basically, now we're even lower. However, I've been doing, this and that. I've been doing kind of small, odd jobs here and there to try to raise money on my own as well. So I think that no matter what. Stupid Mario World Season 3, as I've said, it's gonna happen, and my goal is to get it filmed sometime within the next couple of months. And but here's the thing, again, because everybody in the cast is busy with, they have school or full-time job, and in the case of some people, they have school and a full-time job, and I have to get them on this really weird day that they can do the show.
Yeah.
So it's not just a matter of money. This is what I'm trying to relate to you guys. It's also a matter of time. Even if we got the money, like people like Nick Lunetta have not had a free day since November. I haven't even seen that guy in 2 months because he's so busy. That's an example of how busy some of us are. So there's some time in January that I'm going to try to make work happen. As I told you guys already, when Matt Provincial was in town a few weeks ago, I got a couple of scenes with him. And I'm going to try, even though I haven't scripted the entire season yet, I've scripted a couple scenes with him I'm trying to fit in there. And, we're going to try to make it work. But the point is, I don't want you guys to think that just because we didn't make our goal, the season won't be good. I'm going to try to do the best I can with what we have. That may mean there's only one major lightsaber fight in it. And that's okay because, there only really, without spoiling anything, there only really needs to be one. That doesn't mean it'll be the only fight, though. There's going to be a lot of really cool fights that don't involve lightsabers at all, that we have, fights that I've been wanting to do forever. Like fights with swords, fights with, kung fu, and fights I've been like, well, this sounds like a really cool idea, and we could get into some really cool choreography. I'm just not sure if the fans are willing to watch a really cool choreographed fight that doesn't have lightsabers in it, because they seem to only really like the lightsaber fights. But we're going to do it anyway because now we have a budgetary restriction. So there's going to be a ton of fighting in Season 3, but there might only be one major lightsaber fight just because it's going to be a really big one that's going to cost a lot of money. So, there's that whole thing. But I guess I just wanted you guys to know that what I'm trying to tell you guys is don't be surprised if you see the first major Stupid Mario World trailer at some point at the end of January. And, it's going to happen real soon. So, yeah.
Nice. Somebody asked if that was a Starbucks cat behind me, and Darkside Games 44 said, "Is that a Starbucks cat behind me?" His name is Cappuccino.
Cappuccino is made by somebody from Fanime? Sac Anime? Sac Anime.
Yes. I think her name is Holly, and she makes cute things.
All right, so now it's finally time. We asked you at the beginning of the video, and I know we've already been answering Twitter questions anyway that have been on there for this whole week. We told you to go to Twitter and ask at Alvarekt Mailbag your questions so that we could answer them right here on the show. So, Jackie, let's refresh that Twitter and see who's asked anything. All right. So, Jack Hamilton, he said, I have made a theory that Jekyll is Roger from Lord of the Rings.
Flies.
Lord of the Flies, of course. Okay, so putting this into context, and again, I do ask you guys, I say this all the time, but, because we're answering these lives, I'm going to answer it anyway. Guys, in the future, I would appreciate it if you kept the questions more about relative topics like Christmas and, like, for example, we're talking about this episode, Christmas and Alvarekt and Jackie and I, and, I don't mind stupid Mario questions once in a while, but, for example, if somebody was going to come to this channel and watch Alvarekt Mailbag for the first time, they have no idea who Jekyll is, so I'm just, that's all I'm saying. But because this is Jack Hamilton, I'm going to put this question into context and then answer it. Jekyll is one of the villains from my show, The Plumber Knight Returns, which is a sequel to Stupid Mario Brothers. Plumber Knight Returns is Super Mario in the future, 60 years old, coming out of retirement and kicking ass, and Jekyll is kind of like the Bane. If Mario is Batman, then Jekyll's kind of like Bane. Anyways, so Jack Hamilton, a longtime fan, he made a theory that he thinks that Jekyll is Roger from Lord of the Flies. However, Lord of the Flies has nothing to do with my Super Mario universe, and therefore, he is not Roger from Lord of the Flies. It's an interesting connection, and I can kind of see how you got there, and how they're sort of similar, but it's not, as the creator of the show, he is not Roger from Lord of the Flies, but congrats on you, Jack Hamilton, for, putting that together. All right.
Also, for the record, that was not a question.
It was not a question. Right? But whatever. All right. Zachary
Shirikidjan.
Sirikjan. Sorry for butchering the name.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
He says, at Alvarekt Mailbag.
The Maniac Zach.
The Maniac Zach. If you had the budget, would you make your fights in videos like Dragon Ball Z?
Ooh.
Well, that's really interesting. Probably. I could see if I had enough money, I'd be like, yeah, let's get people on wires, and then we'll CGI the flames around them, and they'll, you know what? Absolutely. I'd like to be like, no, I wouldn't go that far, but man, if I had the money, I'd probably do it.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd probably be making a Dragon Ball show if I had the budget. Jeez, because that movie screwed it up. Total Royal. Dragon Ball Evolution. Ugh. All right.
Jordan T.
Wagner asks, at Alvarekt Mailbag, have you watched Sword Art Online? If so, what are your thoughts? I really like Sword Art Online. In fact, I would say that it's one of my top 5 animes of the last 5 years. It's right up there with Attack on Titan for me. Here's the interesting thing about Sword Art Online.
You're welcome, Jack Hamilton.
I watched the first couple episodes of Sword Art Online when they first came up, when they were like in Japanese, whenever they first aired, and I was like, all right, whatever, and then I didn't watch it for the longest time, and then I showed it to Jackie, and we watched the first 4 episodes, and I was still like, meh, don't really care for it.
I think it was the Christmas episode where we were like,
I don't know what it was, but it was like the first 4 episodes. I'm like, I'm not really getting into it. Mm-hmm. And then we didn't watch it again for like a whole year. And then one night I was on Netflix. It was on Netflix, and I had like run out of episodes of Ren and Stimpy or whatever to watch. And I was like, all right, I've got nothing else to watch. I'll watch the 5th episode of Sword Art Online. And that's when I was like, oh, dang, this is really good. So I guess it kind of, I hate it when people are like, oh, just wait, the show gets better in the 5th episode, or especially with shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, people are like, oh, just wait, the 2nd season is where it gets really good. It's like, I think that shows should just be good from the beginning, but unfortunately life happens and, whatever. Sword Art Online, one of the best animes of the last 5 years, like I said. First few episodes kind of, just, whatever, but once you actually see the chemistry between the 2 main characters and like how like it affects him emotionally and everything, then the show gets fantastic, and you end up caring for those characters quite a bit. So what are my thoughts on Sword Art Online? Amazing. It's just an amazing anime.
Yeah, we haven't finished the season 2, right?
Yeah, well, season 2 wasn't completely translated into English yet when we stopped watching. So yeah, we still have to finish the 2nd season.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't on Netflix, I think.
It was not on Netflix. All right. So again, if you want a guaranteed answer to your question, don't forget to go onto Twitter at Alvarekt Mailbag.
Whoa, guaranteed?
There's a huge asterisk. I'm not going to answer it if it's something inappropriate.
That's a big.
Your chances are better. Okay, my point is you have a better chance of your question being answered on there than in the chat here on YouTube. But because there's no more questions on Twitter, I am going to start answering questions in the chat here. Sponge Caleb 847
JT man
asked, "How excited are you guys for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2?" I would say that, we already talked about this earlier, and I said that I was really excited for the soundtrack. How excited am I for the movie? I would say on an 8 to 10 scale, I'm an 8. I'm pretty excited for the movie. The reason why I can't give it like a 9 or a 10, though, is because it's not a Star Wars movie. I was like 10 excited for like Force Awakens and Rogue One. For Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe more like an 8. I'm going to see it opening night, obviously, and I'm really excited to see it. But I'm not like, oh my god, it's going to add so much more to the lore. It's going to add so much more that we like. It's a fun movie, but I mean, again, it's not Star Wars, I guess just that's where I am with my life now. It's like, if it's not Star Wars, but I'm not saying that the movie is. I'm gonna love the hell out of Guardians of the Galaxy. It's gonna be great. It's just not Star Wars. All right, next question. Let's see.
My answer.
Oh, you of course, Jackie has an answer too. Sorry.
I am excited for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I don't really care for the character of Drax, and I don't know, Dave Bautista doesn't do a very good job with it, and I don't know, I'm not really into that character. So that one joke that everyone's talking about of like, do me next, like, I just thought that was really corny. So I really like Baby Groot, of course, but I'm apprehensive.
I think I
can't take myself seriously in the camera.
I think that within I'm almost positive here that within context that do me first thing is gonna make a lot more sense, because I think the thing is that Drax is trying to be like more human, because he doesn't really have a huge range of emotions in the first movie, and I think that there's gonna it's gonna be one of those scenes where like they're gonna be like, Drax, you have to try to be more like emotional and stuff, and so he of course he's gonna like, maybe he even takes like a thing that tries to help him with that or something. That's what I think. And so like during that scene he's like way over the top, and Chris Pratt's like, don't you think you're overdoing it just a little bit, like I think it's hilarious. I mean, I don't know, you don't like things sometimes.
I don't like things.
But I thought that was pretty funny. Anyways, yeah, so Stormageddon says, oh no, I'm so late, about 32 minutes late. Anyways, yeah, so there was that. What was I gonna say?
I don't know, but Sponge Caleb 847 Smith said, okay, Jackie, LOL. How can you see out of those weird funny glasses? And I'm curious about that now. Haha.
Well, it's a kind of an illusion, because when you put these on, I mean, it works. These are just like sunglasses lenses, and even though it looks like they're off center, your pupils actually run from here to here, so it's like you can still see perfectly out of it. It's just like they have it like they have it in a perfect way so that you can see out of it, but to other people it looks weird. I don't know how else to explain it.
Those are my favorite glasses.
Yeah, those are the fun ones. The fun ones. All right, so.
Tony TJ7 says, I really don't feel like seeing the baby. Yeah, the milk Baby Groot stuff. I agree with that. I agree.
Actually, that's an interesting. They were talking about that on Collider a little bit too, because in the original script for Volume 2, Groot was supposed to be an adult already by this time. Groot is not supposed to take very long to grow up. So the movie was originally supposed to be, just like in real life, 2 years after the original, and Groot was supposed to be fully grown.
But
however, now
everyone loved the heck
everyone loved the ending of the first one. So it's pretty much the same script, except now it's only 2 months. It's only 2 months after the first movie, so that Groot is still a toddler. He's a baby, And they did that specifically to keep Groot a baby because they know that. I mean, I'm just saying I'm just telling it how it is. They did that because they'll sell baby Groot toys.
Yeah.
You know what? But at the same time,
I'll buy a baby Groot toy.
I mean, yeah, I know. I was
Just
like gonna say
one.
I will buy it.
I won't buy all of them.
It's I don't. I mean, it's a movie, guys. It's Marvel. They're in this to make money at the end of the day, so I cannot blame them. I mean, look at I said look at relating it to like my own stuff. If people hadn't been like, oh, I love the darkness, bring the darkness back, the darkness would still be dead, But I keep bringing him back to life because fans demand that the darkness be brought back into stupid Mario Bros. So it's like, I don't know, how many times has the darkness died and come back to life? It's because you guys were like, bring him back to life, not because of me. So, I mean, I can totally see how it's like, people are like, baby Groot, baby Groot, baby Groot, and they're like, oh, okay, baby Groot. So yeah, totally relate to that completely. I'm trying to see, somebody asked a question about, it was Tony. He asked, Rogue One or Force Awakens. And here's the thing. I think that Rogue One has finally helped me. I was just talking to Garrett, like Garrett Allen. You guys remember Garrett Allen. He plays Rathnar in Stupid Mario World, and he's been in several live streams. Him and I had like a 5, not even kidding. We got to Garrett's house at like 10 p.m. like a few days ago. I can't remember exactly when it was. And I was there till like 4 a.m, and we were just talking about Star Wars.
Yeah, I fell asleep on the couch.
Yeah, she fell asleep
totally
on his couch.
Snoring, too.
And we were just having like a philosophical discussion about Rogue One and Force Awakens and how, they relate to each other and the differences and what's better than what. And, it's kind of tough to say. I really, even despite what... Because here's the thing. When Force Awakens came out, I feel like everybody loved the crap out of Force Awakens. And then as time has gone on, especially, because and that's the thing. It's like, I love Matt Stone and Trey Parker, and I love South Park, but I think they might have even gone a little too far with all the Star Wars jokes in the whole last season. I mean, I thought the member berries were adorable, and I really liked that whole concept. But every time they were like, they were supposed to be talking about like politics, or they were supposed to be talking about like the internet problem, they kept like just they're like, and that's why Star Wars isn't as good as we all think it is, and people are like, and even in the show characters are like, well, what does that have to do with this? They're like, oh, nothing, and then they move on. It's like they use every opportunity that they had to stab a punch into Force Awakens, they took it. And again, I love South Park, and I realize I cannot be angry because it's South Park, they make fun of everything, right? And again, I don't fault them for that too. And it didn't really bother me. I'm only saying it now in this context to make my next point, which is that everyone loved Force Awakens, and now all of a sudden the culture has turned, and everyone's like, it really is just a knockoff of A New Hope. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I knew that going into I mean, I think we read a review that basically said that right before we even saw the movie for the very first time. Yes, it involves someone on a desert planet who all of a sudden gets in the middle of a rogue faction, and then goes on to a giant planet destroying thing, and then the X-Wings come in and blow it up. Yada yada. An old friend dies. Yeah, okay. So we know there's a lot of similarities in A New Hope. J.J. Abrams essentially took the script to A New Hope and then turned it into a skeleton and then slapped his own stuff on top. Fine. That doesn't make it a bad movie. That just means that J.J. was trying to, make a Star Wars that he thought would adhere to the Star Wars formula. And this being the first movie in a new trilogy, there's nothing wrong with making it similar to A New Hope. There was also similarities to A New Hope in Episode 1, because it's like every generation it kind of like has like Lucas used to describe Star Wars as kind of like a poem with repeating stanzas, and I think that was the idea behind that. There is nothing wrong with that. However, there is one glaring thing wrong with The Force Awakens, and that it is overhaul of nostalgia. Now again, I don't have a problem with The Force Awakens like some people now are starting to do. We saw Force Awakens like 7-8 times in theaters, all right? I really enjoyed Force Awakens. I'm just saying, if I had to have a problem with Force Awakens, it would be all the nostalgia being thrown at you. But Rogue One has really helped me put everything into perspective, because now I understand some things. Let me put it this way. Some people don't like Rogue One, and some people don't like Force Awakens. But I think what you'll find is the people that didn't like Force Awakens like Rogue One, and the people that don't like Rogue One like The Force Awakens. I'm generalizing, but hear me out. Rogue One has so much Star Wars lore in it. We go to all kinds of new planets. They have to put a lower third at the bottom of the screen just to remind us which planet we're on, because the planet is changing.
You're not going to say any spoilers, though, right?
I'm going to try to keep this spoiler free. Sorry. Yeah, I'm just saying that they remind us what planet we're on because we go to so many different planets. We see things in the movie that Star Wars fans have been wanting to see for decades. That's all I'm going to say about that. And we see all kinds of cool ships, and we see, they make references. They make references to the Wills, which was in the original script of A New Hope. It's from the A New Hope novel, which... only a diehard Star Wars fan would really know about, And, obviously they talk... This is the first Star Wars movie where the word Kyber is actually spoken aloud, and they explain what Kyber crystals are. I mean, it's super deep, nerdy stuff, and I love that. And so, thanks to Rogue One, I can finally put Force Awakens in perspective. J.J. Abrams is really good, just like his Star Trek movies. J.J. Abrams is really good at taking a property that we all know and love and making it accessible to everyone. Mm-hmm. Everyone, even her mom loved Force Awakens. Everybody loves Force Awakens.
No.
When it first came out.
Oh, okay.
When it first came, everybody loved... the problems are now being seen now, is what I'm saying. But when it came out, everyone's like, oh, Force Awakens is so great. It was made for a general audience. So again, this is only because I can now see what a modern Star Wars movie is supposed to look like in Rogue One for Star Wars. So basically, Force Awakens is a Star Wars movie that was made with a Star Wars point of view, but it was made for a general audience. Star Wars Rogue One is a Star Wars movie that is made for Star Wars fans. If you're not a fan of Star Wars and you just casually liked Force Awakens, you might not appreciate Rogue One because it is so deep and rich. It's so rich in Star Wars lore that, even Jackie, who's not as big of a Star Wars fan as me, she's like, oh, I don't get it, I'm confused on a few different parts, I had to explain some things to her,
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where, no, Rogue One, it might not be the movie for you if you don't love the crap out of Star Wars already, but if you are a Star Wars fan, I was talking to other people, if you love Star Wars, this might be your favorite Star Wars movie. And even though I did my list and I already put Rogue One somewhere in the middle, it's because I can't emotionally put Rogue One ahead of the original trilogy. Even saying that, it still might be my favorite Star Wars movie because it just spoke to Star Wars fans so much and on all this stuff that we wanted to see. And again, it just was it didn't spoon feed us anything. It was here's some stuff that you'll only really know if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, versus Force Awakens, which is spoon feeding you information. So again, that doesn't mean I don't like Force Awakens. I still love Force Awakens. I'm just saying that Force Awakens was made for everyone. Rogue One was made for Star Wars fans. And so, I guess, yeah, so if I had to pick one, it's going to be Rogue One. So Rogue One, and even on my list that I made, Rogue One is better than Force Awakens. Absolutely, for sure. I also just think it's a better movie. I think that Gareth Edwards is a more talented director than J.J. Abrams. I think that Gareth Edwards really understands characters better than J.J. Abrams, and I could get into that just as a movie, not even as a Star Wars movie. I could get into the pros and cons of Gareth Edwards and J.J. Abrams, but I won't because that'll take a long time. I
wish I timed that rant.
Tony says, # you may fire when ready.
I wish I timed that rant.
You timed it?
I wish I did.
I know. I think I went on for 10 minutes there or something. Whatever.
Basically.
Anyways, yeah. Woo! So, Star Wars. I might just cut that out and make it its own video.
Wow. All right. You guys heard it here first. If Richie doesn't do it, complain.
So, Jackie, I talked for forever. What did you think of Rogue One?
I liked Rogue One. We made that 20-minute
oh, yeah, we made that. That was a review, though. But how do you compare it to Force Awakens?
I have to be honest with you guys. I fell asleep for 5 minutes of that movie.
Of Rogue One. Yeah, again, I think Jackie likes Force Awakens more than Rogue One, but again, it's just different people and different opinions. Like I said, Rogue One isn't going to be forever. Everyone's like, "Oh, we need a definitive what's better." There is no definitive what's better. Again, if you're Jackie, it's Force Awakens. If you're me, it's Rogue One. It just depends on what you're into.
I liked Force Awakens a lot.
But just know that if your favorite Star Wars movie is Force Awakens, I'm going to be like, "You're not a Star Wars fan."
Okay, I really liked Force Awakens, and I really liked Rogue One. Even though I fell asleep for like 5 minutes, I still got what was going on. The only thing I was confused about is what each planet that they were going to, like the history behind it. Like Geonosis was in it, right?
No, Geonosis was not in it. They talked about Geonosis, and Geonosis is in Catalyst, the book that takes place right before Rogue One. Okay. Geonosis is actually, we saw Geonosis in episode 2. Geonosis is the planet that they're actually building the Death Star on, and that is made from metal that has been extracted from the lava from Mustafar. Again, Star Wars lore. And, it's stuff.
Tony said, hey, she just needed to sleep on it. I did. I don't know. I fell asleep in probably a part that I thought was not important, but it was important because it was like how it was the part where they go to Saw Gerrera's to find the pilot, or they came across the pilot in that, and so I fell asleep. And they didn't meet the pilot, and then I woke up, and the pilot was piloting the ship, and I was like, oh, all right. Something happened there.
All right, Jackie, why don't you go ahead and refresh the Twitter again?
I saw that comment, Jack Hamilton.
Alvarekt I see that Mailbag question on Twitter.
I see that question about Sweet Tooth. All right, Chara Dreamer. Oh, Dreamer. Oh, cute. Chara Dreamer said, "Sup, Reggie? I always wanted to ask this. Where did the $20 meme come from? Also, I started watching Super Mario Brothers when it first came out."
Oh, well, thank you for being a fan this entire time. $20 is $20. I don't think I ever actually saw the commercial. There was this.
That commercial played so often.
I think it was just a local commercial, right?
It was a local commercial.
It was a commercial that was only
for a law firm.
It was a law firm in the Sacramento area. And Matt Provenzel saw it was like before. I think it's because it ran during Whose Line Is It Anyway, which Matt and me used to watch religiously, but for some reason I think I only watched reruns and I didn't see him live or something. I don't know. Either way, there was this commercial where they were like, if you come in now, you can save 20. They said it correctly. They said $20, and the guy was like, $20. And well, I mean, he wasn't even like that. He was just like $20.
No, the woman, the lawyer who was in the show, or the show.
I never saw the commercial. I don't know.
The woman who was in the commercial, every time, like, she said $20. Like, she was like, for $20. And, like, she said it, like, 4 or 5 times in the commercial. Wish I could find that commercial so I could show you guys.
We've never been able to actually find the commercial. But it was like Ronnie Deutsch was the name of the law firm or something?
Yes.
Okay, so Matt...
Look her
anyways,
up, see
Matt...
if she's still law firming.
Matt Provenzel saw this commercial a lot, and I know you guys don't personally... most of you, in fact, none of you... I don't think...
Ronnie Deutsch attorney.
None of you guys really know Matt Provenzel personally, and even if you did right now, he's not exactly the same Matt Provenzel I knew in high school, because people change and grow up. But back in high school... Matt used to, when he heard a joke that he really liked, and I know because I made up jokes that Matt liked, and then he would repeat jokes that I've made up. Matt was all about, what are you doing?
That's how you spell her name.
Oh, okay. Anyways, Matt really liked to...
So you can look her up.
...repeat jokes a lot. So once he heard $20, and this goes back before Stupid Mario. This was definitely in high school, and he was like $20. Anytime it was like, it'll be like Chris will be like, hey Matt, how much is the new Pokemon game? He'd be like $20, and Chris would be like, really? And he'd be like, no, it's like 40, but I had to say $20. I mean, that's a terrible example, but the whole $20 thing got brought up a lot, and then one day we are just looking through Sorry. One day we are doing Stupid Mario, and Matt's like, he just says $20 in the bloopers, and I don't know. Somehow everybody who was watching enjoyed Matt doing it, and then it became a thing. What are you doing?
I'm looking for. I found a YouTube.
That's not the right video, though.
It's not.
Trust me, I've looked at those ones. Those aren't the right ones.
Dang
It's
it.
not on YouTube.
Really?
Okay, so anyways, that's really it. It was from a law firm commercial. Matt saw it. He repeated it a bunch until it became a thing that everyone on the internet recognized because he said it in videos. And that's it. I mean, I feel like I've already explained that to death. I apologize. Yeah, that's it. Merry Christmas, Colton Bradley. All right. Jackie, give the Twitter a refresh just in case.
Okay.
It's all right. We're past the $20 thing.
Okay. So
Wait, did you refresh it?
Yes, it would say notifications on
Oh,
here.
really? It just
so this
is
is
automatic?
the next question from Jack Hamilton.
Oh, okay. Jack Hamilton again. If you make a series around Steve McGinnis, could you make Sweet Tooth a villain? All right. So here's the thing. I literally just said this to him. Okay. This is going to be today only. I swear to God, if anybody asks any more Stupid Mario or Plumber Night questions in next week's mailbag, I'm just going to ignore them. This channel really needs to get variety going. Okay. Again, Steve McGinnis is a character from Plumber Night. He is the detective that's looking for Mario. If he was going to have his own spinoff, his villain would not be Sweet Tooth. Because Sweet Tooth is from a very harsh... I love Twisted Metal, by the way, but I cannot in good conscience do anything Twisted Metal because it's just so over-the-top, violent, and raunchy. I just don't see it working on anything on YouTube without getting a huge red flag. So, again, I'm not saying this... I mean, I think that Sweet Tooth is an alright character. I love Twisted Metal, but I will not put Sweet Tooth in any of my shows. I'm sorry, Jack Hamilton. Alright. So, anyways. Woo! Alright, and that's it? There's no more questions on Twitter? No one's asking anything else on Twitter?
I can reload just in case, but no.
Okay. Alright. Well, what do you want to talk about, Jackie? You know what? Okay, since it is the end of the year and we are getting at the end here, let's talk about video games that have come out this year. Okay. As you guys know, my favorite video game of all time is Chrono Trigger. That's probably never going to change. But I've been pretty consistent this year on Overwatch being my favorite game of the year because it just, especially now more than ever, they've added much more variety to the game than even when it was first released. They have all kinds of different custom modes and everything. And I love the game even before they had that. But if there's one game that's going to dethrone Overwatch as the best game of the year, I really do think... Hey, Stormageddon even just asked, what's your favorite game of this year? She probably didn't even hear us talk about it yet.
Yeah,
because of the delay.
Delayed.
But,
Overwatch, for sure.
Well, yeah.
Ooh, but then Final Fantasy 15.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I think that Final Fantasy 15 may have overtaken it.
No!
Because...
Overwatch!
Listen,
Final Fantasy 15 doesn't have Diva. Or May.
That's alright. Listen, Final Fantasy 15 might not just be the best game of this year. It's also...
Don't you dare say that. Don't you say that. I know what you're about to say.
It's one
Think
of the...
about it.
It's
Think about it before you say it.
It's definitely in my top 5 Final Fantasy games of all time. I mean, people might not understand it, and again, it's like Rogue One, you have to know your stuff. If you're gonna play Final Fantasy 15, make sure you watch the movie Final Fantasy Kingsglaive. Otherwise, you won't get that game at all. All of the world building and history and, getting to know that lore, it's all in Kingsglaive so that the game can just be about character and story building. And then also, you can watch Final Fantasy Brotherhood. It's for free to watch on YouTube to kind of get to know the characters a little bit more. Mm-hmm. All of that is really good, but Kingsglaive is an absolute must. You must watch Kingsglaive before you play this game. For me, I was lucky because I got the special edition of the game, which just came with Kingsglaive, and then I could just watch Kingsglaive before playing the game, and I cannot imagine having played that and liking it without watching Kingsglaive first. Anyways, man, do you get emotionally attached to those characters in... Okay, so for anybody who's seen Rogue One, you know how emotionally attached you get to some of those characters throughout the movie, and then the movie, you know, tugs at your heartstrings a little bit. You know, I don't want to spoil anything. It's like that, but imagine you get, instead of 2 hours, you get attached to characters for 30 or 60 hours, and then stuff happens, you know? And the way that it works, like, these are friends that have known each other for years, and, you know, Noctis is, you know, the prince of this kingdom that has fallen, and, you know, it's like, there's some philosophy in there, there's some, you know, I mean, I could gush about it, and I don't want to, it's so good, I just don't want to spoil too much of it, but I promise you, if you're someone who really loves story-driven RPGs, you will love Final Fantasy 15. I think that, it's amazing. I don't care, Stormageddon, if the ending's been spoiled for you, you should still play the game because it's amazing.
Oh, no.
That the ending of the game would not, you know, overtake the rest of the whole game. Oh, we have a Twitter question.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing John HD asks, do you have any plans to bring back the darkness in Stupid Mario World or any other characters? You know, it's funny how I say no more stupid Mario questions, but again, because I said I would answer anything today, I'm going to answer it.
You can't run from your past, Richie.
I can't really spoil anything for Season 3, but, you know, there is a good chance that Season 3 will be the last of the Stupid Mario seasons overall, and it would be kind of hard not to bring back the darkness because he's such a fan favorite. So I'm not making any promises, like I'm not saying, like, he's coming back as the main villain or anything like that. Like, I'm just saying, like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of darkness in there.
Oh, Richie, you gave too much away.
I didn't give anything away. They have no idea what I'm talking about. It could be a flashback, like Darkness, you know?
Could be a flashback.
Or not Darkness, like Decius,
yeah.
You know? So anyways, yeah.
I wouldn't even give any spoilers.
It doesn't matter. If you're a true enough fan to be watching this Alvarekt mailbag, then you get to know some things. You know? Right. Spoiled, says Tony.
Fair enough.
Oh, the stupid
Bendy Penguin 64.
I think the John Ingram on here said, "What about the Stupid Mario World movie?" Well, the movie was a Patreon goal of like what 7,000-8,000, and we're not even hitting 1,000. So that the Stupid Mario World movie is way out of the question. Way out of the question. Another question.
Bendy Penguin 64. Oh, and then 2 more notifications. Do you have any particularly cherished Christmas memories?
Cherished Christmas memories. I don't know. I can barely remember last week. I do remember opening up my PlayStation for the first time.
Did you have one of those videos of you screaming?
Nintendo 65! No, I was never that crazy. But I was excited. How about you? Christmas memories?
I have a lot of Christmas memories, actually. I got one of my first cats from Santa. He came to our door with a kitten. Santa came to our door with a kitten and gave me my cat, and I named him Stanley because of the Stanley Steamer commercials. Stanley Steamer commercials. His name was Stanley, and I was given to him. He was given to me by Santa, which, of course, now that I know, it was just a guy that my dad knew that dressed up as Santa, and he also dressed up as like a magician for one of my birthday parties, and like he dressed up for whatever my dad wanted him to dress up for. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, so Santa came to my door and gave me a cat. And then also I always get sick on Christmas, so fingers crossed that this year I do not get sick. But I usually end up getting sick on Christmas. But anyway, I have a lot of other memories. There's a lot of Christmas memories.
We got a lot of questions.
Yeah, we got a lot of questions, so I'm just going to move on from Christmas memories.
You know, because Chara Dreamer asked another Stupid Mario question. It's, what's your favorite Stupid Mario blooper? $20. Yeah. Caleb Smith asks at Alvarez Mailbag, what's your favorite Power Ranger show from the first show to this year? Definitely Mighty Morphin. I tried to get into Turbo or whatever was out. I think Turbo was the next one after that. I was just like, not the same. You know, something about that original show. I mean, I've tried to watch the original show today. It's really cheesy. It's hard to get into. But when I was a little kid, Power Rangers was, amazing. And I'm actually really excited for the Power Rangers movie because that's like how my young mind interpreted it to my older mind. Like that's the Power Rangers that I want to see is what I'm seeing in the trailer. Hopefully the tone of the movie matches the tone of the trailer. I'll be really disappointed if it's not. So how about you?
When I was little, my nephew always watched Power Rangers, so in return, I always watched Power Rangers with him, and I really liked the Pink Ranger and the Yellow Ranger, of course. They were the girls.
FNAF fan 9001 just said, I don't have Twitter, dang it. It's free.
And also,
Go get it.
We've been answering some questions on YouTube as well, so, don't worry about it. And also, next question is from Marty Man, and he said, Richie, when will you join the RMA official Discord server your friend Garrett made?
Never. Nah.
What?
I don't know.
No, that's not true.
It.
That's absolutely not true. Okay, so what happened I signed up for Discord, and I used my email address, and then I signed in, and it was like, this email address does not exist. And I'm like, fool, you just sent me a confirmation email. So don't tell me that this email doesn't exist in your system. So I need to go over to Garrett's house one day, and he needs to show me how to do it. So, we're going to go over to Garrett's sometime.
All right. Amazing John HD said, favorite Sonic Toast video?
But you guys should join the Discord server.
Yeah. I have never seen a Sonic Toast video. In fact, I don't even know what he's talking about. So maybe that's my bad, I guess.
Yeah, we need to get on that Sonic Toast.
I do want to answer this question. Gray PSX asked, Richie, would you want Doctor Doom to be in the MCU if Fox allows it? Now here, this is kind of a catch-22 here because I absolutely want Doctor Doom in the MCU. I think he's one of the greatest villains in the Marvel Universe. However, I would not want Fox to be involved at all. Now, Sony and Disney have this great deal worked out where, Spider-Man gets to be used in the MCU, and then Kevin Feige gets to oversee the Spider-Man movie over there, so that way it's all connected and everything. Fox is not an understanding, caring, or reasonable studio to begin with. They would never allow something like this. I mean, I could go on. 20th Century Fox, shame on you, 20th Century Fox. You are the worst movie studio. Disney has again and again offered 20th Century Fox billions of dollars for the rights for of course, X-Men also, but even just for Fantastic Four. And every single time they've said no. Even though they will never make billions of dollars on the Fantastic Four, they have said no to Disney because 20th Century Fox is so stubborn and set in their way about this. And, it's ridiculous. But the only way I want Doctor Doom in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is if Fox just gives it to Disney, or Disney buys it from Fox and Fox allows it to be sold to Disney, because I do not want Fox involved in the Marvel Cinematic Universe at all. They have lost their chance to play ball with Disney. That's it. They will not compromise unless Fox changes all of their executives over there. It's not going to happen. And I do not want Fox touching the Marvel Cinematic Universe at all. I think they need to give. I personally think that they just need to give everything back to Marvel. X-Men, Fantastic Four. It'll be in better hands at Marvel. And I think that this whole, I'm just going to say it. I think this whole dick measuring contest between them is ridiculous.
Richie said dick.
Dick. Hey, my name is Richard. Dick is my nickname, one of my nicknames. Okay. All right.
Have we been doing this for 2 hours?
1 hour.
Did we start at 1 o'clock?
We started like 12:45. See, it says we've been going for an hour and 3 minutes up there. So.
I see.
Anyways, whoo.
Hashtag Richie goes hard on 20th Century Fox 2016. Richie Fights Fox 2017. Yes! Richie Fights Fox!
All right. Well, Jackie, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about today? Because I think we're pretty much out of time.
We're at the hour. Well, I still have to wrap a few gifts.
New end cap.
Before...
End cap. There we go.
Boom. Take off, Albert.
There we go.
These are the links that you need to go to. It was great having you all on, answering your questions and talking to you. And I need to wrap some gifts, so we got to get going.
All right, guys. Don't forget to, if you're not already, go on to Patreon. And then don't forget to keep following what's going on Facebook. Sometimes we do live feeds on Facebook too. And, I update info on there. And probably most importantly, please follow me on Instagram at Rich Malvarez. Some asshole already took Alvarez, so I had to put Malvarez. And Michael is my middle name, so it makes sense.
So it's Rich
But please,
Alvarez.
if you don't have an Instagram, get an Instagram and follow me at Rich Malvarez. Meh. And of course,
Rich M. Alvarez.
get your t-shirts at disreliance.com/Rich Alvarez and get your fun, cool stuff at jacksmakesthings.etsy.com. And I think that's gonna do it for us. Thank you for joining us on our first live. I think I enjoy doing these live mailbags because we can make them, an hour long and have a lot of fun with them. And it's really great. All right, guys. Love you all. Thanks for joining us and goodbye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Bye.